It is officially that time of year. The NFL season is a mere days away, and we are here to break down an entire NFC preview and much, much more to talk about besides that. So do us a favor, kick back on this Labor Day, relax, because episode number 5 of 609 Sports Talk starts right now. Welcome in, everybody, back to another edition of 609 Sports Talk live here on Facebook and on YouTube. We are coming to you guys live from Hamilton, New Jersey. Of course, this is the show where fans are united, and in debate, it's always ignited because we always have a fun debate topics on this show. But we have got a big show planned for you. As always, we are your host, Sam Nelson. He is Tyler Adams. Mr. Adams, happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day.
How are we on this beautiful, beautiful Monday? It's a beautiful day out.
It is a beautiful day out. You know, I'm surprised. Had a day off and it wasn't raining.
Yeah. I wish we said that yesterday. With that little strategic downpour we had yesterday.
A little monsoon.
Oh, yeah, the monsoon. Jam-packed show tonight. You know, college football week 1 recap later on in the show. Humongous NFC preview show. NFL season is a mere 3 days away. I can't wait for. I want Friday. I can't wait for Thursday. I cannot wait till Thursday.
Oh yeah, we're almost there.
Couple more sleeps. Brandon Aiyuk finally got paid. We're going to talk about that in a second. Of course, I'm a happy guy. Pete the background. Phil, take 3 out of 4 from the Braves. F the chop. Hate that damn thing. But unfortunately, and this is a very big unfortunate, we have to start the show off on a very sad note. And the first thing we just want to come out and say is, I mean, we know it's been talked about all weekend. We just want to come on here and give our thoughts, prayers, condolences to the entire NHL world and the family of hockey players Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau. As everyone knows, Johnny and Matthew unfortunately passed away last Thursday. They were struck in a bike lane by a intoxicated driver. And Johnny, of course, was the star forward for the Columbus Blue Jackets and, of course, was with the Calgary Flames. And Matthew was a minor league hockey player who I believe he spent some time in the NHL with the Islanders. But unfortunately, they are both no longer with us, and we would just like to give our heartfelt condolences to their families. And just to send out a little message again, please, for the love of God, I have the app. It's a great app. It's this thing called a freaking Uber. Please use it. I'm so sick and tired of having to have to talk about how stupid people are when it comes to driving under an influence. I didn't know we could be this stupid in 2024. I really didn't think we could be this stupid.
Well, people aren't getting smarter. So there's only one way to go from there.
No, they're not. But we just want to come on here real quickly and say that our thoughts and prayers are with Johnny, Matthew, and, of course, their families.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Tragic
Such
loss.
a stat. It's just such, I mean, they were in Jersey for their sister's wedding.
Yep.
It's such a bad situation. The more days that it goes by, the more stuff you find out, the more heartbreaking it gets. But yeah, we just want to say that our thoughts and prayers are with the Gaudreau family, the entire NHL family. Johnny, of course, is one of my favorite hockey players. I begged and pleaded for him to become a Philadelphia Flyer who he grew up idolizing. And now it's just a sad thing that shit like this should not happen. This shouldn't happen.
Yeah,
this should not happen. Stuff like this could easily just be avoided. So it is a very tragic thing, but we do not want to have the show be a very somber episode. We are like I said, thoughts and prayers with the Gaudreau family. Rest in peace, Johnny and Matthew. You guys will always be remembered, always be thought of. You are New Jersey hockey royalty, and our thoughts and prayers are with them and their families during this time of grief. But anyway, now let's get into the rest of the show. First up, Tyler, and I can't express this enough. Finally, stop talking about Brandon Aiyuk after today.
Yep.
Because he finally gets his deal. 4 years, $120 million, which I believe it has around $76 million in guarantees.
Yep.
Tyler, start us off. Thoughts on the Aiyuk extension?
I mean, I'm glad that it finally worked out. Aiyuk was going to get paid by a team one way or another. I'm glad that the 49ers were finally able to come to some sort of agreement with him, because you can have the argument as much as you want. There's only one clear-cut number one wide receiver on that team, and it's Brandon Aiyuk. Deebo Samuel's cool. He's your Swiss Army knife guy, playmaker. He's not your number one wideout. So you got to pay your number one guy. And hopefully he goes out there, continues to produce like he did last year, and, prove to everyone why he bet on himself so much during this holdout. And, just falling in line. CD gets paid. About a week later, Aiyuk gets paid. And it's right around where we kind of expected it to be, around that 4 years, $120 million mark.
Yeah. I mean, I said it. I said he was going to get somewhere between CD and Amon-Ra. I didn't think he was going to eclipse CD, and I sure as hell didn't think he was going to eclipse Justin Jefferson. I never thought he was going to go around there. So it all kind of went basically where we all expected it. But look, we had this conversation last week. I get it. Like we were talking about, you're talking about CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Aiyuk. CeeDee Lamb is the Dallas Cowboys offense.
Yeah.
But Brandon Aiyuk is still a very important part of that offense.
He is. Not to say that their offense wouldn't exist without him.
No. But the fact that he has such a good rapport with Brock Purdy already, he's their deep threat, big play guy. They needed to get this deal done. They weren't going to trade. They weren't going to ever trade the guy.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they were clearly getting offers, but they didn't seem like they had an offer they wanted to bite.
Because I don't think the offers were really what San Fran wanted for him. Because San Fran knew what he was worth. Why they hesitated so much to pay him, I don't know. Maybe it could have been the fact that maybe they did offer a contract similar to this before the CeeDee Lamb deal got done. Maybe that CeeDee Lamb deal did help with Aiyuk and his agent finalizing the 4 years for 120. They probably looked at that and saw, okay, this guy got this much. He's at this level. You're a great wide receiver. You're not at that level. Let's meet here on this ground.
Schefter did come out and say this was the deal the Niners offered him about 3.5 weeks ago.
See?
They didn't move their number. They said, here's what we're going to offer you. Now go out there. We'll talk to some other teams, see what they'll offer you. We'll throw some offers out there. But you saw the Commanders one. They wanted a first and Terry McLaurin. I'm not giving you a first round pick and Terry McLaurin for Brandon Aiyuk.
Exactly.
It's really tough to base it off of something with a guy who's only been in one system his whole career. I'm not saying Brandon Aiyuk is a system player, but I kind of feel like if CeeDee Lamb got traded, let's be honest, right? If CeeDee Lamb got traded to the Chargers, I think the Chargers would compete with the Chiefs. I think CeeDee Lamb would be good wherever he would go. I'm not sure about Brandon Aiyuk. And that's where I'm getting at with this. I'm not saying the Chargers are better than the Chiefs if they would have done it. I'm just saying I know how good CeeDee Lamb is. I know how good Aiyuk is in the San Francisco 49ers system.
Yeah, you're speaking on how a player and his impact that they bring.
Yeah. Like, do you think Aiyuk impacts the team as much as CeeDee Lamb does?
No, I don't. And that's no disrespect to Ayuk, but the 49ers team is still very well structured. And we got to look at it this way: they're a run first team already,
Always going to be.
regardless. You know,
And
they
they're
were
always
doing
going
it
to be.
before Christian McCaffrey. They're doing it now with Christian McCaffrey because he is insane. And, you know, them being able to get Ayuk in there, what they found in Debo Samuel, you know, that system, it would still work without him because honestly, that system is designed kind of, dare I say, in a way of like those old Patriots offenses where you just plug guys in. But the caveat was the center of their offense was Tom Brady, not the running back.
It was Brady and Gronk. Get everyone else go over there.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have any doubts about the way the 49ers would be able to perform without Ayuk. But, you know, I'm glad it worked out for everybody. They stayed solid on their deal that they offered him. He finally came around to agree with it. Run it. See you in the NFC Championship game. Have fun losing.
Yeah. So Anthony said, first of all, if you had the money, why wait to pay him? Second, Aiyuk didn't want to get traded to now team he wanted to stay. If not, why not go to Pittsburgh? Anthony, nobody wants to go to be a wide receiver in Pittsburgh.
So to answer his first part of his statement,
I agree with him,
yes,
though.
they did have the money, but
They have money.
it wasn't all on the team. Now, I agree. Some of the initial contracts they're probably offering them might have been like way lowballed, like 20, 25 million a year. They might have been trying to lowball him at first. But ultimately, if this deal, the 4 years, 120, was been the same deal on the table for almost a month now, you know, Ayuk wasn't playing you know, exactly with them either. They were both playing the game and, you know, they were competing against each other. It's business. This is
Exactly.
football, but it's a business. It's a
It is a
multi-billion dollar business.
that sends their players to dangerous places to play. Oh, I'm sorry. We'll get to that later. And then Anthony, his other comment reads that now the next drama is Jamar Chase holding out. I don't understand why that's even a thing. I mean, he's got 2 years left on his deal.
Yeah. So I guess Jamar Chase is another one. He's a cocky guy. He knows what he
LSU
is.
boys.
He knows what he is. He knows what he wants. Even though he has those 2 years left on his deal, he still wants that long term deal because he knows that it's not going to kick in until after his rookie contract expires. But he wants that security, which most players do. You know, they want that security with long term contracts. If you know that I'm your guy, lock me up now. And honestly, if the Bengals had the money, it would be in their best interest to do it. Because if you go ahead and you give him an extension now, then if the market goes up, which the market always goes up, he's already going to be locked into that deal. But if they wait another year, possibly even 2 years to really try to push it, then at that point, you might be looking at Jamar Chase is going to get way more than Jefferson did. So I don't know. I'm not a GM.
Should be. Anthony then goes on to say that shows Aiyuk is more important than Trent Williams. That is not true whatsoever.
That I believe the deal is probably they're probably working on a deal right now. They probably wanted to wait until they finally got Aiyuk squared away so they know where they stood with their money and what they can offer to Trent Williams.
There's a lot of divas in that Niners locker room. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there are. That's why they didn't win a Super Bowl.
There's a lot of divas over there in San Francisco. They're just everyone's got to complain about something. I ain't make enough money. We would have won if Brock's elbow didn't get hurt. We would have won if there wasn't 3 seconds left on the clock. Like, shut up. there's just a bunch of drama in San Francisco, I feel like.
Yeah, that's just
I'll
the
give
way
them
they are.
credit. I'll give them credit, though. They keep it on the low. They still win football games. But, man, there's just always something going on over there. But, yeah, I think, look, they had to get Aiyuk signed up. I understand they took a receiver in the first round. They still have Debo. I get all that. But Aiyuk, he helps space the field out for everybody else.
Yeah.
That's where his value is. Now, if you want to look at the wide receivers that have all been extended now this year, let me ask you a few questions. And I think we did this last week with CeeDee Lamb's deal, but let's do it again, right? These are the notable wide receivers that have been extended. And just answer me a question. Is Brandon Aiyuk better than CeeDee Lamb? No.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Is he better than Justin Jefferson? No.
No.
All right, here's a good one. Is he better than DJ Moore?
I'd say that's very close.
I'd say it's close. I want to see DJ now with legit quarterback play, which it looks like he'll finally get.
I want to see that, and I also want to see Aiyuk reproduce what he did last year and build on it. Last year was his only breakout year. Before then, he was just treading the water, kind of. And he honestly wasn't. He wasn't even the number one option in that offense. I remember there were games he was getting benched because he was butting heads with the coaches.
Not a surprise. I mean, if you look at Aiyuk's career numbers so far throughout his career, he's been in the league now for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Last year was his breakout year of 1,342 yards. The year before that, he put up 1,015. And the year before that, he only put up 826. And the year before that, he only put up 748.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to pull up DJ Moore's numbers?
You can do that. Do you want to stay on DJ Moore? Or do you want me to keep reading off some of the names?
Let me pull up DJ Moore real quick. I got it right here. So last year, DJ Moore put up the highest yards in his career with Justin Fields as his quarterback. He had 1,364. 2022, I think that was. Did he get? No, that year was just a really bad year in Carolina. He had about 888 yards. And then he had 3 straight years with over 1,100 yards from 2019 to 2021. And then his rookie year, he had 788. So he's already shown that he's a more consistent wide receiver.
Yeah. All right. Is Brandon Aiyuk better than Amon-Ra?
No.
I think Amon-Ra's upside higher.
I think so, too.
He sure as hell ain't better than A.J. Brown.
No.
All right, here's some interesting ones now. What about Jalen Waddle?
Jalen Waddle.
I think he is.
That's a tough one. I would say, I think Ayuk's got the leg up on him.
Ayuk's the number one receiver on his team. I've never seen Waddle be more than a number 2.
Yeah. That's where he gets the one up.
Okay. Nico Collins.
Nico Collins.
Right now, I'm giving
actually, for rewind to Jalen Waddle real quick, I actually just pulled up his numbers. In the 3 years he's been in the league, he's been a 1,000-yard receiver. In 2022, he had 1,350 receiving yards. So he came into the league a 1,000-yard receiver. So he might honestly.
Okay.
I'd say he could be better. And that's not even a number one option. If Tyreek Hill's not on that team, Jalen Waddle might be like a 1,400-yard receiver year after year.
Maybe, or maybe he's not. Maybe he's just getting those yards
right.
because all the attention is drawn to Tyreek.
That is a good point. I can't say either or. Playing a what-if game here. There's a lot of different variables to it.
Dennis says Nico Collins isn't there quite yet, and I tend to agree with him.
What's up, Dennis? He isn't there yet.
Yeah, Dennis, what's up, brother?
He's got it. Him and Tank Dell both have to prove it still. They were both rookies. Yeah. Second year, let's see if either of them have a sophomore slump. that could be another reason why they did bring in Stephon Diggs, because they don't know what they're going to get out of both of them. Yeah, they both had a really good year. Lots of people have had really good single seasons. Doesn't always mean they're going to replicate it year after year.
Yeah. Okay, how about Devontae Smith?
Devontae Smith. See, I'd say similar. Aiyuk definitely has an advantage being the number one guy. I feel like this kind of puts Smith in the category with Waddle, to where they're 1,000-yard receivers as number 2 receivers.
I think Dennis puts it perfectly right here. Because I know we said it with Waddle, with Hill. I saw a year of Devontae Smith without A.J. Brown, and he was still a dog.
That is true. That is true.
I saw this guy go up in the end zone with Surtain and say, give me that.
That's a good point.
So I may lean a little bias here. I may lean towards Smitty just a little bit.
I'm going to say those two. I'm going to give them a pretty even.
Anthony says you get top 10 at 8 or 9. That's fair enough. All right, and then the last 3 names on this list, I think I take Aiyuk over all 3 of these guys. Well, actually, I know I take him over at least 2 of these guys. Jerry Jeudy, easily I'm taking Aiyuk.
Yes, I'm taking Aiyuk.
Calvin Ridley,
I'm taking Aiyuk.
I think Calvin Ridley is severely just overrated by the entire league.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, I saw an offense in Jacksonville last year get worse with him. They got worse. Now, this year, watch how much pressure's off Trevor Lawrence now. ETN's going to get more touches. Christian Kirk's going to go back into that wide receiver 1 role. Hopefully he produces, fantasy purposes only. May have picked him up on the waiver wire. But Brian Thomas, a kid at LSU, stud. So they're going to have Evan Ingram. They'll be all right. But no, I have Aiyuk over Calvin Ridley. Anthony, Devontae Smith is a number 1. He doesn't play. He's not a number 1 on the team he's on because the guy in front of him is better than him. Yes.
Yeah, honestly, Anthony, if Devontae Smith was on the Commanders, he'd be a number 1 wide receiver. Terry McLaurin would be the number 2.
And then the last name on this list is Michael Pittman.
Michael Pittman. Was DK Metcalf's name mentioned at all on that list? Did I miss that?
No, those were just receivers that have been extended this offseason.
Oh, extended this offseason. Okay, so that's
that's what I was basing this off of.
Gotcha. Okay. And Pittman, I'd take Aiyuk over him too.
I like Pittman.
Yeah, I like him.
He's another wide receiver, though. Can I get a consistent freaking quarterback?
Yeah, I mean,
can we get him a quarterback? That's all I'm asking. Can we get Michael Pittman a quarterback?
But then again, I can't fully say, this wide receiver isn't performing well because they don't have a quarterback. Because I watched a man by the name of DeAndre Hopkins for almost his whole career play with trash can after trash can and rack up nothing but 1,000-yard receptions in seasons. Like, let's look at that real quick. Let's look at all those Texan years.
Tyler, not everybody's Devontae Adams, okay? Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins. You got me thinking something else.
That's another name that's a good reference. Him on the Raiders ever since then. He's been a 1,000-yard receiver too. Still staying relevant without Aaron Rodgers and having who throwing the ball? Crickets?
Fair enough.
Yeah, all you just see is DeAndre Hopkins with Houston. Just 1,200, 1,500, 1,300.
All right. You know what?
1,500, 1,100,
I feel like this. No, hold on. Look at this. No, look at the comment because he says we need to be. Give me, Anthony. I will eat the crow if you can give me 5 things. Yeah, I got 3. 3 traits that Terry McLaurin is better at than Devontae Smith. Give me 3 things he's better at than him. I won't ask for the whole freaking. I don't need the whole draft profile. Give me 3 things that Terry McLaurin is better at. And we know winning isn't one of them. So there's strike one.
Damn. Okay. While he gives us those traits, I'm gonna pull up side by side real quick.
Side by side.
Yeah, I got 2 tabs open. I'm compare the
This
numbers.
is about a half hour too much of wide receiver talk.
Yeah, I thought this was gonna be a quick one, but we got some debate. Which
We're running into OT tonight.
All right. So now I'll give Terry McLaurin a lot of credit. He's another guy who hasn't really had a quarterback in his career. And his numbers stand at, in 2019, his rookie year, he had 919 yards. That's similar to Smitty. Smitty had 916 yards in his rookie year.
Okay.
2020, Terry McLaurin had 1,100 receiving yards. 2021, he had 1,050. 2022, he had almost 1,200. We'll round that up 9 yards. And in 2023, he had 1,000. And so Smitty's rookie year, 916. His second year, almost 200. Not 200, 1,200, rounding up 4 yards. And then in 2023, 1,066.
Okay. Fair enough. Like I said, I like Terry. I never discredit him at all. But I, for one, I still think Devontae Smith is better.
I do too. I agree with that. Now the real end to this debate isn't going to come right now. It's going to come by the end of this season. Because hopefully, was it Chase Daniels that the Commanders drafted?
Jaden Daniels?
Daniels? Yeah, Jaden Daniels. Who's Chase Daniels? That's definitely a name. Oh, no, he probably a bum.
Well, hold on, Anthony, because according to you guys, Devontae Smith doesn't have a quarterback either. Remember that time? I thought we didn't have a quarterback. I thought we had a running back.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. He did call Jalen Hurts a running back, so I mean, nah.
Now we switch. Now we're changing the narrative because it doesn't fit.
Sam, the truth always comes out, all right? We're talking about Jalen Hurts, who was almost always in the finals for being an MVP.
And I'm sorry, I said give me 3 things that he's better at than Devontae Smith. I'm still waiting. That doesn't mean that's not.
Yeah, he did only say bad QBs.
That's an excuse.
So how about this? How about this? We'll be generous here. Let's see how Terry McLaurin does with Jaden Daniels. This should be his best quarterback, even though he's a rookie quarterback. It should be the best quarterback he's had in his whole career. And let's see what he can do.
Hold on a second. No. Y'all said Jalen Hurts too. Don't make me go back and watch every Birds of the Gridiron episode I did this year, please. Anthony, you know I love you. But anywho, all right. I've been talking about wide receivers for a half hour. We got some big-time previewing to do.
Yes, sir.
Complete NFC preview.
Whole NFC.
We've got a complete NFC preview. So, where do we want to start?
Let's see.
Well, you know what?
I think we know where we're going to end, right? We know where we're going to end.
We're saving the best for last easily.
Let's talk about. Let's start off with one of the more interesting.
Why don't we just keep it in the West here? Where are we talking about Brandon Aiyuk?
That's what I was thinking. I think the West is a good place to start.
All right. You want to go or do you want me to go? Do you want to start? Wait, hold on, wait, Anthony. Who said this?
What? What is Slay not playing, Madden?
He is. What are we talking about? Slay 100% is playing. Darius Slay is 100% playing.
I don't know. Maybe you meant Bradbury, which no, we're not upset about that.
I ain't never gonna be upset about that.
Get well soon. We need you on the bench to hand out water bottles.
Oh my god. Yeah. But do you want to kick off this the preview of the NFC West? Or do you want me to?
You kick it off.
We want me kicking it off? Okay. NFC West. This is a very interesting division. Cardinals have made some additions. They're going to have a fully healthy Kyler Murray. Niners are probably still easily the favorites. They're the Niners. The Rams are in a little interesting spot. I still like their team, but, when you lose a guy like Aaron Donald, you kind of... It's going to be hard to replace that. I do still think the Rams, though. I still think the Rams have a top-tier offense in the league. Stafford stays healthy. Still one of the best quarterbacks in football. They still have Kyron Williams. They drafted Blake Corum, the running back out of Michigan. They have wide receivers for days, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell. These guys have this. They have the best wide receiving trio of names in the NFL.
Man.
Still have one of the best offensive lines. Now, their O-line's a little banged up right now, but still very solid. Defense, that's going to be where it gets interesting. Not sure how good that defense is still going to be. I guess we're going to have to sit there and wait. I mean, they did bring Darius Williams in. They did bring in Tre'Davious White to try to help shore up the back end of that secondary. But they're still... They also signed Cameron Curl away from Washington. So they have... I mean, again, the loss of Aaron Donald is just something that we can't ignore.
Yeah, that's a big question mark for their defense.
But now, let's kick it off. And I'm going to start off, we'll start in the basement. We're going to go downstairs real quick. And I have, in last place in the NFC West, I have the Seattle Seahawks.
Ooh, man. Teddy Bridgewater is sad right now.
That's not Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, you're right. Teddy Bridgewater's coaching football right now.
That is Geno Smith, sir.
Geno Smith. Hey, they're the same category of quarterback.
But I have the Seahawks finishing with a record of 6-11. I do not see what this team does well. Geno had that really nice renaissance for comeback player of the year, which again, I didn't know you could be comeback player of the year when you just sucked your whole career. Never knew that was a thing.
He was in a lot of bad situations, all right? That's what happens when you get drafted by the Jets.
Oh, give me a break. Okay, but that doesn't mean you're a comeback player. What are you coming back from?
Coming back from bad situations.
Brandon Graham was 33, tore his Achilles and set a career high for sacks after tearing his Achilles.
I know this is the reason why it always upsets you. Because you wanted Brandon Graham to win it.
No, it's because he was actually coming back from a serious, sometimes career-altering injury. One guy just sucked his whole career, so we're making an excuse. Oh, well, he came back. Came back from what? Because you stunk your whole career? That's my problem? That's not comeback player of the year.
Where is the official terminology of comeback? The word comeback, though, isn't... The definition of it is not being injured and coming back. That's one thing that you can come back from, an injury. But the term comeback is not defined by the word injury.
And what is all right? So please tell me then, what did Geno Smith come back from? What did he come back from to win that award? Please tell me. I have all freaking night. If you want to carefully explain to me, what did he come back from?
He came back to be successful from not being able to create any success throughout his career. And all these different organizations he's bounced around through.
You know what happens you know why you bounce around from organization to organization? Because you stink.
Oh, he didn't look like he stunk that year.
Yeah, that's cute. Even blind squirrels find a nut eventually.
Dang, man, I don't know where the Geno Smith hate came from.
I don't hate Geno Smith. I hate the fact that he won a comeback player of the year award that had nothing to do with coming back.
It sounds like you're hating on Geno Smith right now.
I don't hate Geno Smith.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Oh my God, I don't hate Geno Smith. I would have said this about anybody, but no.
So, Sam, tell me this, right? Tell me this. So, he had that year where he won comeback player of the year. All right. And that year he had almost a 70% completion percentage, 4,282 yards, 30 passing touchdowns, 11 interceptions. This past season, he regressed down to 65% completion percentage. He had 3,624 yards still, 20 touchdown passes, 9 interceptions. Is that trash somewhere to you?
No, but I actually may say Geno Smith. I think the Ravens would be better with Geno Smith than Lamar Jackson. I'm just kidding. But I mean, shit. Those are pretty good. Those are pretty good numbers.
Yeah, I agree with Anthony.
Hold on. I have too many comments to catch up on. Let me get into them all real quick. That Clay isn't happy the Eagles are playing in Brazil. Newsflash, nobody is.
Yeah.
Clay did. Yeah, apparently the crime rate in Brazil is insane right now. Like, he told his family they're not coming.
Not surprised.
Oh my God!
I really don't understand where the NFL saw this as a great idea.
Aaron Rodgers or DeMar Hamlin might win only if Hamlin plays the whole season with great stats. Hamlin should win it just because.
I'll say this, right? He has to play. If he's not a starter, at least be a role player on that defense.
He has to play. The fact that this dude is able to step on a football field after what happened to him is the amazing part. That alone right there could disqualify everybody else. The dude literally died on a football field last year.
He did.
And no, Anthony, my voice gets high because we are comparing a comeback player of the year award.
Anthony, you're amazing.
The only reason he got that award is because he somehow lucked his way into he was only the starter because Russell Wilson got on the front office's nerves so much.
Lucked his way. Lucked, we said. And actually, so you know what? While Geno Smith didn't come back from an injury right away, you are forgetting that the 1 year stint that he had with the Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert's rookie season, remember that? When Geno Smith tried, he played all of he played 5 games, and remember there was that training staff snafu where they injected something wrong or something like that. They did something that messed him up and bounced him out, and that allowed Justin Herbert to come in, and he just lit it on fire. And that was the end of Geno Smith's time with the Chargers. You don't remember that?
I remember that, but I don't think that was Geno Smith.
I think it was. Because who else was on the Chargers during that time? Wait, what year was Wait, what was the rookie year for Justin Herbert?
I don't know. Hold on.
Well, we're about to find out right now. Rookie year. Let's see. Oh no, his rookie year is 2020. Well, that don't line up then. Who is it? Who was that? Was that Teddy Bridgewater? Let's see. What year did he play? What year did he play on the Chargers? No. Wait. Oh, no, that wasn't him either. Who was the court? Wait, Tyrod Taylor?
Yeah.
Was it Tyrod? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Tyrod. That's who
And,
it was.
and Anthony just brought this up. I totally forgot about that. We remember that he may be the starting Bills. He is a starter because the top two safeties in Buffalo are gone.
That is true.
Hyde's a free agent and Poyer's in Miami.
Yeah. So, I mean, just that alone, most likely he's going to be the starting safety then. As long as is he 100% cleared, ready to go?
Well, I mean, he was ready all last year. Just didn't play a lot. Remember, he was inactive most of the year.
Yeah, they were being really cautious.
Of course.
Which, yeah, of course. But, no, I mean, if he's a starting safety, I definitely think he'd win Comeback Player of the Year.
Yeah. But then you got to worry about Aaron Rodgers, too. He may win it.
True, he might, man. Because, I mean, Rodgers plays the whole year.
We know.
Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, maybe Ben Simmons will win it.
Please, Ben Simmons had a legitimate injury.
Oh, God. So, yeah, so back to Geno Smith real quick to finish up my case. I don't know what happened to him in 2018 with the Chargers.
Nothing.
Maybe he was just a backup on there for a year. I'm guessing that's what it was.
Yeah.
And then he went to Seattle. He was the backup there. And then once Russell Wilson stunk it up, he came in. He performed well. And he's had 2 really good seasons. So I don't see where the hate is coming in at. Well, no, I know where the hate's coming in. Your boy, my boy too, Brandon Graham, didn't win. But I still respected Geno Smith winning it.
I don't care that Brandon Graham. I was using Graham as an example. I don't care who. I didn't care if Graham won it. I care that a guy won it that he came back from nothing. That's the point.
Came back from
Give
something.
me the definition. What did he come back from?
You want the definition, Sam?
By the way, you just said 2 seconds ago when Russell Wilson stunk it up. Russell Wilson's last year in Seattle, he threw for 3,100 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions.
Which year was that?
21-22, the last year he was in Seattle.
21-22.
And Russell Wilson wasn't bad last year either.
He was okay.
Russell Wilson off the field is the problem right now. The guy who has the office with the executives, that guy's the problem.
He was okay last year. Don't tell me otherwise, because I had to have him on my fantasy football team.
He was okay. Yeah, I'm not saying he was great, but he wasn't terrible, is what I'm saying. The Broncos. Can we also just agree that the Broncos have been a mess since Peyton left?
Yeah.
Like, they've been a bona fide mess ever since he left. So I don't know why we're having that conversation about the Denver Broncos. But anyway, let's get back on track here. So, yes, I have the Seahawks finishing at 6-11. I just don't see what they're good at. Geno is probably the 4th best quarterback in his division. And I don't think we don't need to debate that, do we? Or do you think all of a sudden he's the best, he's better than Matthew Stafford?
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we're not going to lose our minds over that. I mean, if Kenneth Walker's healthy, that helps a lot. They still have Metcalf and Lockett. It's just I just don't see them as a good team right now. They're also transitioning out of the Pete Carroll era. I do like the McDonald hire, the Ravens DC. I do love that hire. Yeah. I just think it's going to take a year or two for them to.
They're still really high on the Smith and Juba kid, who is a good player, but he's got to work his way into that offense because, when you got Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, it's hard to find your footing in that offense. But they do have a good receiver room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, I forgot about Nick Chubb, too. Oh, and Burrow. Oh, man.
Oh, no. I'm looking at the last name.
Yeah, that's crazy that he really put that in there. Is that actually that's actually on like the official odds
he for his ACL? Player? Oh
my god, yeah.
That's coming back from something.
All right, you know what, Sam? I'm changing it. I'm changing it. Let's just give it to Damar Hamlin just so we don't have to have a bloodbath on all these quarterbacks that are coming back from being hurt.
There's one quarterback that's winning that award.
Hold up.
Joe Burrow. Knock it off.
I thought you were going to say Aaron Rodgers.
No.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers has a high shot of winning that too.
He does, but I still think Joe Burrow's just Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Dude, oh my gosh. I'm not counting Daniel Jones. 4 quarterbacks and Nick Chubb. 4 quarterbacks and Nick Chubb. That is insane.
There's Anthony and his FanDuel odds again.
I'm surprised they didn't have Damar Hamlin in the odds.
Because a quarterback is a favorite to win all these awards. We know this.
Geno Smith. Oh, there you go.
I'll come back on camera when the name Geno Smith is no longer uttered. Anyway, but no, I also think the Seahawks defense right now is just very. I really don't know what the Seahawks defense is, to be honest with you at this point.
A couple of guys that I thought were going to be really good staple pieces, like they lost Quandre Diggs, right?
Diggs is gone. Jamal Adams is gone.
Jamal Adams was useless. That's the best.
Yeah, that is true.
But I think
they don't have a lot of.
I think still have Tariq Woolen, don't they?
Yeah, but Reek was bad last year.
He was bad last year. I mean,
he was bad.
New coach coming in, a defensive-minded coach. Maybe it can fix him. So if they can fix him, man, who was he, like 6'3" or something? He is a tall cornerback.
That's a former Eagles safety, Kayvon Wallace.
Oh gosh, I wish Kayvon the best, man.
I like
maybe
Kayvon.
He can go and have a
Reek
surgeons.
Reek Woolen in his first year had 6 interceptions. Last year only had 2, but it was a rough year. He didn't have his best year.
It was, yeah. He was getting benched a lot last year.
You want me to tell you who's a dog? Devin Witherspoon. That's a dog right there.
Yeah.
The corner they drafted out of Illinois last year, that's a dog.
Oh, freaking dude. Anthony just said that Sam Darnold is number 7 on the sleep. What?
That's the equivalent of Geno. See, that's my point. Now you're getting annoyed by that, but that's the equivalent of Geno Smith.
The reason I'm getting annoyed is because he has no chance because he's literally not going to do better than the other 4 quarterbacks that are on that list.
Because he's coming back from what?
He's not going to come back. That's the thing. He's not going to come back. Geno Smith did come back.
It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing.
Found his footing. It's not the same thing. Because Sam Darnold is never going to see the year that Geno Smith had.
No. And how do you know that? He's got Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. He may.
He's still messing with it.
And TJ Hawkinson.
I bet you Darnold will get freaking benched by like week 4.
I agree with you. Who's he getting benched for? Nick Mullins?
Maybe. He might.
Oh, my God. You know what? They may get so desperate. Michael Penix may play. They may trade the Falcons a first-round pick and get Cousins back.
Oh, my gosh. Be like, hey, Falcons, you guys wanted to go ahead and draft Penix so high. You know, how about you just give us Kirk back?
And we'll pay him the $90 million you gave him, you nitwit. But talent-wise, new system. I saw the Seahawks finishing last at 6-11. In third place, I have the Cardinals finishing 9-8. Now, I know that may be a little bit of a shock to some people. Kyler Murray, Kyler's healthy, and when healthy, Kyler Murray is a damn good quarterback.
I know he is.
James Conner, ever since moving over to Arizona, nothing more than just one of the best two-way running backs you'll find. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a stud. Trey McBride's going to be the number 2 option for the beginning of the season. They did bring in Zay Jones, but he is suspended for a few games, so he'll be back later in the season. Now, in terms of the rest of their passing attack. That's really it. They have Greg Dortch, but that's really it. It's going to be Marvin Harrison and McBride most of the year.
Yeah.
They also have former Eagle legend Zach Pascal. Don't forget.
Hey, Pascal might be a solid role player in that offense.
Well, they also have that kid Michael Wilson, who they took out of Stanford in the third round last year. He had a solid first year. Had 38 receptions, 565 yards. He was solid. So,
okay.
Marvin Harrison's going to take most of the pressure off of Kyler, and now their offensive line needs to play well. That's the biggest thing with the Cardinals. They need their offensive line to be a lot better. Defensively, it's Jonathan Gannon. So, oh God, I don't even know where to start. I know not one person on this Cardinals defense. Oh, no, I do. Kaiser White.
Is Buda Baker still there?
Yeah, Buda's still there. I literally just went down there. They drafted Max Melton, the corner out of Rutgers. I was doing a lot of draft study on him when we were doing our Birds of the Gridiron stuff. They have Sean Murphy Bunting back there. They still have Jalen Thompson. Their secondary's solid, I'll say that. They're a little solid in the secondary. But I think the Cardinals could surprise the team.
Yeah, they will.
They could be a sneaky wild card contender to me. Then coming in second place, I have the Rams going 10-7. I do think their offense, if healthy, is still one of the best in the league. Kyron Williams is going to have a really good year. If Stafford's healthy, we know how good he can be. And a healthy Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, you don't get much better than that.
You don't. Now, Puka Nacua is the big question mark, Another one of those guys killed it last year. Let's see you do it again. But the one guy who you don't have to really worry about, as long as he's on the field, Cooper Kupp.
Well, that's the thing with Puka. I'm sure there's going to be some deferring with Kupp being 100% now. But let's forget, Puka's right now is not fully 100%. He banged up his knee in training camp, so he's still trying to get back from that. And Tyler Higbee starting the year on the PUP list, I believe. They're going to they're a little short on their tight end game, but I got them at 10-7. I didn't overrate them, I think. It just helped the Rams. The Rams are literally 2 injuries away from 10-7 to go at 7-10.
Yep.
Aaron Donald, I could give you 9 wins if you're banged up if Aaron Donald's there. Because Aaron Donald was that dude that could win you 2 games with 2 big plays. But now that defense is more of a question mark than it has been in over a decade, I got the Rams at 10-7, but it could easily change if injuries happen.
Yeah.
And rounding out the NFC West, I have the Niners going 12-5.
Okay.
The Aiyuk's locked up now. Debo's there. They have Kittle, McCaffrey. They got to get the Trent Williams thing situated. I still think their defense is good. I'm really going to be intrigued to see how they attack the loss of Eric Armstead.
Yeah.
Because that's still a tremendous loss. Because Anthony said that the over and under is 7.5 for the Cardinals. Yeah, I take that. I take the over.
Yeah.
The Cardinals are nothing special, but I think they'll surprise some teams. As long as Kyler stays healthy, they can get surprised.
As long as they're all their key, because they're not loaded on offense, but they have really good key pieces. As long as James Conner's healthy the whole year, Kyler Murray's healthy the whole year, Harrison Jr.'s healthy the whole year, they'll be fine. And even McBride at tight end. They can have their main guys stay healthy. They will be fine. That offense will perform. I think the real question mark will be the defense.
Arizona's, oh yeah. Well, I think McBride though is going to be really good. I think he's going to be.
I think so.
Just last year. Last year, 81 receptions, 825 yards.
Yep.
So I think McBride. I think the Cardinals I'm not saying they're going to be a top tier contender. I just think they're gonna shock some people. That's what I think.
Yeah, they definitely will be.
So that's my prediction. I got Seahawks at 6-11. I have Cardinals at 9-8, Rams at 10-7, Niners at 12-5. I'm sure the Niners are going to start working on the extensions for Trent Williams and Brock Purdy probably soon. Defense, still a little bit of a question mark. Like I said, I still think their defense is good. It's still all right. Let's rephrase that. It's still very good.
Yeah, it is very good.
But up the middle, I'll tell you now, if I'm teams, I'm just looking for Javon Hargrave when I run the football. Because I'll tell you now, that's not his game.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just real quickly, you look at the Niners' defense is still got Nick Bosa. They did have Malik Collins to try to fill in the Armstead role. So, I mean, that's a solid pickup. They did bring in Leonard Floyd, so there's more pass rush help. They also have Yetur Gross-Matos, who was a former Penn State guy. Nice rotational pass rusher. Still have Javon, like I said. They brought in Devondre Campbell, who was released by Green Bay.
Okay.
He's going to help out while Greenlaw, because, I mean, Greenlaw still recovered from the torn Achilles in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
They still have easily the best middle linebacker in football.
The best middle linebacker.
He is.
Bobby Wagner's still great, but Bobby Wagner's he's coming out of his prime.
Exactly.
But you talk about
Anthony,
a guy who can do it all, Fred Warner, he can do it all.
And in their secondary, they have Jair Brown, the kid out of Penn State, and a Trenton boy from our area.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget they're going to get Hufanga, their safety, back. Remember, he had the ACL injury last year, so they'll be getting him back. That's a huge boost. They drafted Malik Mustafa, another safety. They have so many safeties, but they have no corners. Their corners are Travarius Ward, who has actually played very well for them. And they signed Rock Ya-Sin. Rock Ya-Sin is the king of one-year deals.
Man, just everywhere. All around the league.
My man gets one-year deals all over the place. Anthony, that has nothing to do with Geno Smith.
In my predictions, I'm going to have Seattle finishing in last in that division as well, but with a better record.
Floor is yours.
Question: do the Niners still have Chase Young?
No.
Where's Chase Young at?
Saints.
The Saints. Okay, interesting.
That's why they brought in guys like Gross-Matos and Leonard Floyd. They had to replace him.
All right, so for me, I have the Seahawks finishing at a solid 7 or 8 wins. I feel like 8 wins can be on the high end if they can get the production and consistency out of DK Metcalf. Because when Kenneth Walker's healthy, that offense is fully healthy, they can be one of the more lethal offenses because Geno Smith is a good quarterback in the right system. Now, he's not going to be one of your top 5 QBs in the league, but he is a great quarterback, and he can get the job done, and they can win games. They proved it in his year that he won the Comeback Player Award. He proved it even last year. Last year was rough for them as a whole. There were a lot of pains going through that organization. So this year, hopefully they can come in, be on the same page. The defense, they lost some pieces I feel like they should have tried to maintain because they still had some guys who, they weren't young, but they weren't old. They're right in the primes of their career. And you're a team that's not really rebuilding. Yeah, you kind of lost your identity after, Marshawn Lynch is retired. Russell Wilson leaves, but you still have all these pieces. So I think on their high end, they could definitely have 8 wins. But usually they always hover around like 7 wins. Like they'll probably trade off games in everyone with their division. I don't see them The only team that might sweep them in the division might be San Fran. But even then, when they're at home against San Fran, it's a close game. So they always have a good shot to take all their home games. Um, but I don't really see them finishing at anything lower than the 7-win mark because they're a team that play with a lot of grit. So it's never going to be an easy win.
They do. Yeah, especially going there.
Oh yeah, exactly. They defend their home field, one of the best teams in the league. Then finishing third in the division, I have the Arizona Cardinals. I have the Cardinals also at 9 wins. The reason I don't have them at 10 wins is because I'm still not sold on Jonathan Gannon as head coach. We still got to see a fully put together Cardinals offense by a Jonathan Gannon led team. I don't even know who their offensive coordinator is. Is it anyone notable that I would even know, or is it just a guy?
Keep going, I got you.
But offensively, the Cardinals have the tools. Kyler Murray is a great quarterback. I always like to compare him to Lamar, but I said that he was already a better passer than Lamar coming out of college. And that still stands true. He's got the versatility to stretch the defense out. Now, he just went and drafted probably one of the generational wide receiving talents. You got James Conner, who has just came into that organization and just been a workhorse for you. As long as he can stay healthy as well, that's a huge bonus for him. Defensively, they don't really stand out to you much defensively, but they're kind of almost like the Bengals. They'll get the job done for the most part. But I think solid 9 wins is probably in their forecast. Wild card, maybe not. I don't really see it because they probably have to finish ahead of the Rams in their division to secure a wild card. Did you find that OC?
I did.
Who is it?
It's Drew Petzing is the Arizona Cardinals
Don't
offensive
know who he
coordinator.
is. So, like I said, we have to see what the offense is actually going to do. They do have some weapons, and if they utilize them the right way, I could see them putting up some good points and winning games. Next, finishing in second, I have the 40 to psych. I almost had you for a second there. I got the Rams.
Well, I'll tell you, if Georgie comes in the chat hearing this, I'm not defending you.
I got the Rams. And you know what? On the optimistic end, I am going with the Rams at 11 wins. I think they are going to be competing with the 49ers to possibly win the division, but ultimately I do see them losing out in that race. So, I mean, the Rams, as long as now, all this can change if, anyone gets hurt. I'd say even if Cooper Kupp gets hurt, I would drop that down to maybe 9 wins expectation. Cooper Kupp coming back, he's got to be the same guy. He's got to come in, plug back in, be that trusted receiver, that producer that we know he can be. Puka Nacua got to come in and have a good second year. He can't have a sophomore slump. That team can't afford to because when Puka Nacua is on, he is on. He is an incredible wide receiver. And, Tyler Higbee, he's kind of just there. He's never really, had that breakout moment of his career. Kyron Williams, he's got high upside. He's still unproven. He's gotta stay healthy and have a good year this year. And it all centers around Matthew Stafford as well. I agree with Anthony that Seattle's defense is way better than Arizona's. I think they still have more talent on their defense.
I agree somewhat, mostly in the secondary.
Yeah. But Budda Baker's still better than everyone in Seattle's defense.
You never know. Maybe some of those young players in Arizona play well this year.
Yeah. So with the Rams on the high side, I can definitely see them at 11 wins. As long as everything goes right for them, everyone stays healthy, I see them securing a wild card and possibly even making it to the second round of the playoffs. Now, the 49ers. I have the 49ers at I'm going to say 13 wins. I think that they're going to be a tough team to beat. I mean, they didn't lose enough pieces on defense to really, say, oh, they stink now. No, they're still going to be one of the top defenses. Offense, it just stayed the same. Possibly even got better with the rookie wide receiver they drafted. They're going to come out. They're going to put points up on teams. They're going to move the ball. As long as Brock Purdy, he's going to be the biggest question mark. If he can just do what he's been doing, he doesn't need to be spectacular. He doesn't need to be better than Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, not even Justin Herbert. He just has to do what they ask him to do. Facilitate the football, manage the game, and they'll be fine. But I can see them finishing with 13 wins this season.
Yeah, like I said, back to the thing with the Rams. The Rams, for me, if Stafford goes down, then they're in trouble.
They are. If Stafford goes down, I didn't give a prediction for that. If Stafford goes down, they can win like 6 or 7 games.
Do you know their backup's going to be after he's back from suspension?
Who?
Jimmy G. No, because it's going to happen. Jimmy G's going to lead them to the playoffs.
Suspended?
PEDs. Someone saw him accidentally throw a ball 30 yards and they drug tested him.
Wow.
But no, it's gonna be the ultimate revenge game. Jimmy G's gonna lead the Rams to the playoffs, go into San Francisco, and get his revenge on the Niners.
Unbelievable.
Nobody believes that.
Unbelievable.
All right, moving on to can we get the NFC South out of the way, please?
Oh yeah, I was gonna suggest let's get them out the way next. I didn't want to start with them though. That would have put everyone to sleep.
All right. Starting off, you want to start? I'll let you start the South, because I don't want to start with the South.
I'll kick it off. You might not like how short and sweet I'm gonna keep it. Let's see. Who do I see finishing at the top? But let's start at the bottom. It's going to be the Carolina Panthers. I think everyone can be unanimous in that statement. Sorry for any Panthers fans out there. Your team still has a lot of work to do. A lot of work. Panthers, realistically, Zolt was making some good points. It's hard for a team to get 0 wins in a season. Usually they get around 4 wins, something like that. I'm going to say the Panthers, they're going to pull out 3 wins this year. They someone said, Jimmy, that's not him. Has he got a robotic arm or something?
Yeah, Bill Belichick go look. He said, I know him. I drafted him. This ain't right.
I drafted him. I knew he couldn't.
I know how to cheat. This ain't it.
Yeah, Carolina Panthers, 3 wins. Discussion ended. Lots of work to do. That's the only way that you can describe the Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
Now, finishing in 3rd in that division. This may or may not shock people, but I have the Saints finishing in 3rd. Now, even though the Saints haven't been the best the past couple of years, they've still competed in their division to, take the NFC South crown. This year ain't one of those years. They don't have all the pieces. They're still trying to figure it out with their quarterback play. They do have very good receivers that they're putting together. And, if they can find out what happened to Alvin Kamara, that'd be, like, a miracle. Because, like, he was active this, like, second half of last year. He just he's non-existent. So, if they can get some good playback from him, that would help them out tremendously. Defensively, the Saints always usually have a solid defense. Nothing to write home about as of recent, though. But the two interesting teams to talk about in this division are the Falcons and the Buccaneers. Because the Buccaneers had a very good finish to last year,
Yeah.
and they had the resurgence play from Baker. And I think Baker, he's going to build on that. You know, having Mike Evans, that's one of the best things that you can have in the NFL.
Yep.
Maybe Chris Godwin will fully be recovered both physically and mentally from that injury. And, you know, he can get back to his form of being a 1,000-yard receiver right next to him. Running back wise, I don't even know who they got running back wise.
To the Bucs?
The Bucks, I don't even know.
Well, hold
but
on.
like, whoever they throw
Godwin.
back there.
Godwin still is a 1,000-yard receiver. He just doesn't get in the damn end zone.
That is true. But hey, if you're moving the ball down the field, it don't matter. I mean, let's be real. Mike Evans is a red zone magnet. He's a big target. He gets open.
Tampa Bay's current running back room is Chase Edmonds, Bucky Irving, Sean Tucker, Rashad White, and DJ Williams.
I mean, Bucky Irving's a cool name.
Rashad White did rush for 990 yards last year.
He did. And that's why I said they don't really have much running back wise, but it just works. It does what they need. On the offensive line, they got a solid offensive line. They've lost some pieces over the last couple of years, but still, Tristan Wirfs, one of the top left tackles in the league.
The big loss is the fact that they lost one of your former Eagle boys, Sua Opeta.
They lost Sua Opeta. Oh my gosh!
Tore his ACL. He's out for the season.
Oh, that's rough.
He was going to be one of their starting guards.
That's rough. But you look at their defense, and they have one of the better defenses in the league. You know, Vita Vea. They have Levante David still. They did lose Devin White. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Tampa Bay. Still got Anton Winfield Jr., Jordan Whitehead, Jamal Dean. So, you know, they got solid pieces. It's a well-coached team. I think that they are going to finish second in the division, though. I think they'll finish with 9 wins this year. So that'll put them at, 9-8? Finish at 9-8.
Yeah.
We'll be second in their division. I'm going optimistic with the resurgence from the Atlanta Falcons. Now, don't think I'm going too crazy here. I have the Atlanta Falcons at 10 wins. Not no 12 wins, not no 13 wins, 10 wins. Though that's enough to win the division. You can win the NFC South year after year with 10 wins.
Probably win it with 9 wins.
You probably could. But Kirk Cousins coming in. Hopefully, you know, Drake London finally having a quarterback that can throw the football. Kyle Pitts finally having a quarterback that can throw the football. And, you know, they have a great backfield with Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. So I'm excited to see what the Falcons offense can do. Defensively, I don't really know what all they got going on. I know they traded for Judon.
They have Justin Simmons.
They got Justin. Oh, they got what's his name too? Jesse Bates. So
AJ Terrell.
AJ Terrell, who is a really good young corner.
That defense, that secondary is legit.
That secondary is legit.
They have Zach Harrison and Grady Jarrett on the D line still.
Yeah, Grady Jarrett, Eddie Goldman even as a second string.
They have Lorenzo Carter as a rotational pass rusher. Like you said, they got Matt Judon.
Mm-hmm.
Now they did lose Braylon Trice, I believe he was their second round pick to a torn ACL, the third round pick. So that's a blow there, but this could be a interesting defense.
Yeah, I really think it is. So, wide receiver room, you know, Drake London and not the biggest names after that.
Darnell Mooney's their wide receiver too.
Mooney, Kadero Hodge, Casey Washington, Ray McLeod. Rondale Moore's on the IR.
So it's London, Pitts, and that's it.
Yeah, essentially. But hey, that's sometimes all you need. I mean, you look at the Kirk Cousins with the Vikings. I mean, yeah, he usually did have two good receivers and a good tight end to go with it. But hey, you know, you got Drake London. Hopefully he can show up and finally get that opportunity to be number one guy. He already is the number one, but I want to see the numbers of a number one as well. Let's see how did he do last year.
Who, Drake
I
London?
know. Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. It's hard to have a good year when you don't have a good quarterback.
Desmond Ritter.
And I think good quarterback is an understatement. Drake London just needed a mediocre quarterback to be able to get 1,000 yards in his career.
Well,
The
he had
closest he
905
came
last year.
was 905 last year. Exactly. So even if he had a mediocre quarterback play, he would have got over 1,000 last year.
Yeah. I think Drake London is poised to have a breakout season.
Yeah. I think the Falcons are gonna surprise a lot of teams this year when they now I don't know what the heck they were thinking still in the draft. They were thinking very, very, very long term. You just gave a long term extension, Kirk Cousins. What are you doing? But Kirk's their guy. Kirk's gonna show up and perform as long as he stays healthy. And I mean they got the running back room. They got the receiving core. They got the quarterback. I don't see why that offense can't perform. They have a very solid defense. One of the better on paper defenses in the league.
I agree. What's up, Burnsy? Burnsy's in the house. Burnsy, we're good, baby. We're talking some NFC prediction.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now let me roll into the NFC South. This is So look, let me spoil it. I am in agreement with you on the top two teams. I have the Falcons also going 10-7. I'm not going to overrate them. I'm not going to say, "Oh, this is the best Falcons team since going to the Super Bowl." Now we're not doing all that crap.
No.
They're 10-7. They're a very solid team to win that division. That's it. Bucks 9-8, I think, is very fair. However, I got the Panthers.
Don't you even.
Third.
Don't you even. If you have the Panthers with more than 4 wins, I will slap you through the screen.
I have the Panthers winning 5 games.
Hold on. They're winning 5 games?
Yeah.
And the Saints aren't?
The Saints stink.
The Saints do, but the Panthers are just even worse.
Well, let me explain something first. You're thinking back to the Frank Reich Panthers. I'm looking at the Panthers that just hired Dave Canales, who resurrected Baker Mayfield's career.
And they did bring in Cliff Kingsbury too, right?
No, Kingsbury is with the Commanders.
Commanders. That's who they brought in.
But real quickly, you look at their running back room. Jonathan Brooks. Now he's starting the year on the NFI list from a knee injury that he suffered in college, so he'll be back soon. They still have Chuba Hubbard. Miles will get cut when Brooks is healthy. They got Chuba Hubbard. They went out and got Deontay Johnson. They drafted Xavier Legette. I love both of those wide receivers going to a young quarterback. They still have Jonathan Mingo. Offensive line, and they still have Adam Thielen, Mr. All Reliable.
Yeah, all reliable.
Mostly old, but anyway.
No, more reliable.
Offensive line is still coming into fruition. Defense, it's a little young. Still got some work. They have veterans on the defensive line like Ashawn Robinson. Still working through some stuff with their linebackers. They have Jadeveon Clowney. I didn't even realize it. They signed Josie Jewell. They still have Shaq Thompson. Their secondary, they brought in guys. They have Jordan Fuller there playing safety. They still have J.C. Horn. I thought they signed somebody else. I'm forgetting. They signed Nick Scott. They have Xavier Woods.
Jordan Matthews, the greatest tight end
I know he's
of all time.
Yeah, shut up. I think Bryce Young now is in a good spot with Dave Canales. I didn't trust the old regime. I have the Panthers finishing with 5 wins and in third place. Let me get to the Saints team, okay? This Saints team stinks. Dennis Allen will be fired by the middle of the season.
Oh, dear.
He's a terrible.
Oh, man. That's really how you feel about him?
Yes. I don't know what the bleeping HE double hockey sticks happened to Derek Carr all of a sudden, but
yeah,
2015 Manning was easier to watch.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Derek Carr.
Kamara, don't know what happened to him. Jamal Williams, old. Wide
receivers.
Hey.
Jamal Williams actually has a solid chance to be a contributing factor more than Alvin Kamara.
That's cute.
In that backfield.
Wide receivers, they're good. Olave's still good. Shaheed is still really solid. I don't. They're old, man. They're freaking old. They're an older football team.
They are. I say their receiving core is one of the youngest receiving cores.
No Ryan Ramczyk.
Yeah.
Out for the season.
A tough loss. That's a really tough loss.
Now, they did draft Talisi Fuaga.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that, but still, Ryan Ramczyk is still one of the best tackles in football, dude.
If they had both of them healthy, that would have been really good for him. That's
they're
definitely
old.
A big loss.
They're old and they're not well coached, and Derek Carr stinks.
But how many times have we seen them where we thought that they're not doing nothing, and then they just finish with 7 or 8 wins?
That's fine. I don't think they're going to be good this year. I like the Panthers' upside more than I like the Saints currently.
They did go out and get Kool-Aid. They got Marshawn Lattimore, Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Okay.
I mean, Willie Gay, a linebacker, isn't terrible.
Hi, hello to you too, Adam.
You're 100% right on that, Adam.
Oh, Adam, I love you. But I think the Panthers are going to be finished better this year than the Saints. Bookmark this. Go get a screen recording, bookmark it, and come talk to me in January.
Oh, trust me, I won't forget you saying this. I don't got a bookmark enough. I will be coming. I'll be coming to collect, Sam.
Derek Carr will be on a new team by next year.
I do agree with that.
I don't know what John Gruden broke him, or McDaniels. McDaniels broke
Sam,
him.
I have the perfect idea. Carr's gonna get bounced off the Saints and blamed, which was probably rightfully so. And guess what? There's going to be a team that's going to need him. Because Daniel Jones can't get the job done. He's going to the Giants to hold it down while they tank a whole season away so they can try to hopefully draft the quarterback of the future. Because Daniel Jones was not that.
Oh, my God. But yeah, I have a Saints, Panthers, Bucks, Falcons. And we have spent entirely way too much time on the NFC South.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess now we move to the North.
The North. Adam, you're stuck with Jameis. He's going to be your Week 7 starter.
Adam's going to take him. I think Adam drafted him in a few fantasy drafts, he said.
Oh, man.
I'm just asking for pain. The more we go with this, the more pain I ask for. And honestly, Adam, with the way Derek Carr's been playing, they may need Jameis back. All right, so who wants to start the North? Do you want to or you want me to?
This is going to be a fun one to talk about. Probably, I would say, the most fun one aside from the East. I mean, the East is honestly just a 2-team race. This one is the most competitive division.
Agreed.
Where do we want to start on this one? I feel like we need to do a quick breakdown on some of these teams.
I don't know, but Adam has comment of the night.
I will never draft him. Draft Daniel Jones before Winston. Wow. I mean, at least Jones is already a starter. That doesn't say a
I mean,
whole lot, but
at least he gives you those couple rushing yards until he trips and falls over his own feet.
he won't get you that rushing touchdown though.
Okay. All right.
Who do we see finishing last? That's easy, actually. The Vikings.
Is it
Sam.
Tyler?
They lost their first round pick.
Okay.
Sam Darnold is not going to get them into third place. This ain't Case Keenum. All right? This ain't Case Keenum.
Okay.
He ain't Case Keenum.
All I'm looking at is Sam Darnold is surrounded by a team that consists of Aaron Jones,
Okay.
Ty Chandler,
Okay.
Jordan Addison,
Okay.
T.J. Hockenson when he comes back healthy,
When he comes back.
Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
They still have a pretty solid offensive line. Defensively, they brought in Jonathan Bullard. Their defensive line is really just a bunch of run stoppers. Now, when you get into their linebackers, they brought in Blake Cashman. They've signed Jonathan Grenard, the pass rusher from Houston. They stole Dallas Turner in the first round because Atlanta forgot how to draft.
Yeah. Agreed.
They brought in Andrew Van Ginkel to help shore up their linebacking core a little bit. They've just signed Stephon Gilmore. They still have a very solid secondary. They still have Byron Murphy. This is still a very good Minnesota team.
It is. My only concern is how many ghosts Sam Darnold's going to be seeing out there on the field.
I'd just like to know how Geno Smith, everyone says how great Geno was at doing what he did, but why can't Sam Darnold do the same?
Because Sam Darnold stinks.
Oh, he stinks.
He
but
does.
Geno was hold on, wait.
So,
wait,
all right, Sam.
wait.
Sam.
This
is Sam Darnold's year to prove it because he is put in a situation. This is the best situation that I will say Sam Darnold's been put in, just like with Geno Smith in Seattle.
I will disagree with that. I think Sam Darnold's best situation was last year, being able to sit behind and back up Brock Purdy and get a year to just kind of like relax. Sam Darnold didn't play bad in Carolina either. He really didn't.
He didn't break through. Now, in Carolina, he actually had some decent weapons.
That's what I'm saying.
DJ Moore, but he didn't get it done then. So what's his excuse?
Carolina sucked. They were led by they were freaking terrible. And I just said it. He wasn't great in Carolina.
Because with all those receiving weapons, they still couldn't score. So no, Sam Darnold had his chance. He had his chance to win comeback.
And Geno didn't?
No, he had his chance to win comeback player of the year. That was his year.
You're unbelievable.
There we go. We broke him.
You're unfreaking believable.
Mission accomplished.
Sam Darnold was drafted by a joke of a Jets team.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good situation to be in for 3 years.
Guess who else was drafted by a joke of a Jets team? Sam?
So where's yeah, I know. So where's the difference?
So the difference is, just like how Geno got his chance with Seattle to be the starter, that Sam Darnold had his chance as the starter in Carolina.
No, he didn't.
He did?
No, he didn't.
He did. How did he not?
Okay, what situation was better? The Seahawks team that Geno went to or that Panthers team when Darnold was on it? Which situation was better?
I'd say very similar as far as weapons that he had around him.
Similar?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Sam Darnold, in 2022-2023, before he got hurt, he played 6 games. He threw for 1,143 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. He was actually playing well. He got hurt.
He did get hurt. That's right.
So, he still could do it. It's still very... Oh, Anthony. Anthony, even I'm not that crazy.
Over the Bears. So wait, Sam.
What?
So wait, you said the Vikings aren't finishing last for you?
I didn't say that. I just said
Oh,
it's
I
not
thought you
that.
said that you didn't have them.
No, you said it's easy. I said not really.
It's still easy.
It could be.
It's still easy. That offense isn't going to be the same.
Hey, maybe they trade for Derek Carr by week 8.
That offense still ain't going to be the same. I think Derek Carr. Sam, you just said that the Saints are going to have a terrible year because Derek Carr's the quarterback. And
you're
see
talking,
the receivers.
You're talking about going from Dennis Allen to Kevin O'Connell. That's like night and day, dude. Dennis Allen's the worst coach in the NFL. People need to realize that. Dennis Allen, Dennis Allen only got that job is because Sean Payton never got rid of him and fired him for the multiple playoff games he cost them.
But still, you're saying that Derek Carr is going to suck around Chris Olave, A.T. Perry, Shaheed, and Alvin Kamara and Jamal Williams. But if they trade him over to the Vikings, it's all good. It's all good.
The Vikings have a better offensive skill group than the Saints. I hate to say that to you. Alvin Kamara, this ain't 2017 anymore. Jamal Williams has. Here's the problem. Everyone overrates Jamal Williams because he had like 18 1-yard touchdown runs 2 freaking years ago. Congratulations.
No, he's actually a good running back.
He's a solid running back.
He's a good running back.
He's a solid running back. Shaheed and Olave, they're like at best, a middle tier wide receiver duo.
A middle tier?
You're taking.
Yeah, I will say A.T. Perry. He is a clear number 3 wideout.
I don't even know who the hell that is.
He's just a guy. But when you talk about Olave and Shaheed, those two, they have real potential to be like an elite duo, kind of like, the A.J. Brown, Smitty, the Tyreek and Waddle. Now, will they ever be those players? Probably not, but they have the potential once they finally get a good enough quarterback in there. Because so Derek Carr broke somewhere. I think his heart got broken by the Raiders.
I blame that on McDaniels. Because the year before that, Carr was playing out of his mind.
But he was still in the Raiders.
But they were playing well. Oh, my God. The year before Josh McDaniels came in, Derek Carr was playing amazing. Something happened with McDaniels that has ruined him. And going to a team that has no offensive identity in the Saints hasn't helped him.
I just think he's heartbroken, man. He wanted to be a Raider his whole career.
He did.
They didn't want him.
But wait, do you really think... Okay, yeah, they can have all the potential they want. That's fine. Do you really think that Chris Olave and Shaheed are ever going to be near the tier of Addison and Jettas?
Not Jettas, but Addison, yeah.
I'm not talking about that. We're not talking about one guy. First of all, Addison is way better than Shaheed, so that's strike one. But we're not talking about that. I'm talking about both of them. You can't just take out one and say yes. No, they are never going to be as good as those two.
They could.
The Saints are not a good. Oh my God.
What if Addison's not that good without Kirk Cousins?
Okay. I still take him over, and I still take him over Shaheed. Because I'll tell you right now, you can put Shaheed, Perry, and Olave together. Hell, you could sign back Michael Thomas and bring Marquise Colston out of retirement, build them all into one mutant wide receiver, and they're still not better than Justin Jefferson.
Well, yeah. No one's saying that. All right, too many what ifs. Let's move on.
The Vikings will okay, I'm ending this right here. The Vikings will most likely finish last because they have the worst quarterback in their division. And everybody is thinking the Saints are still back with Drew Brees. That's what you all are doing. You are overrating the Saints because you still think this is 2018. They stink. They absolutely stink. You're overrating their players. Like you're turning in 2017. Alvin Kamara, Tyler, has been good in 3 years when he's been on the field.
Oh yeah, when he's been on the field.
The Saints are. This is what they are. They're in salary cap hell because they don't know how to they don't know how to structure deals. They keep taking on contracts of unproven veteran players. Their GM should have been fired years ago. Dennis Allen will be fired this year. Derek Carr will be traded this year. And then maybe they'll actually start a proper rebuild like they should have started the minute Sean Payton left.
Yeah, they'll get a new quarterback in there.
Sean Payton and Drew Brees were that organization. Without them, they're lost. They have no idea what they're doing. Anywho. But... So, did we pick who started in the NFC North, or are we going to bounce off team after team here? Like, we'll talk to Vikings. I like doing that instead, actually. What do you have the Vikings finishing with?
Vikings are going to finish with 6 wins.
Really? I'm right with you. I have them at 7. And it's not because they're bad. It's just because their division's a bloodbath, and they have their fourth in quarterback ranking in their own division.
They probably have a tough schedule, too.
Yeah, Anthony. That's the thing. Anthony's perfect. You can't start a rebuild over the cap. The Saints won't be able to start a rebuild for 5 more years.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll keep trotting out all this garbage saying, oh, we're still competing. And all they really do is complain about, oh, it was pass interference in the NFC Championship game. It was 6 years ago. Get over it. Another organization that hangs their hat on 2009. But yeah, I have the Vikings at 7 and 10. I think it's fair. They could have more wins. They could have less. But I think Darnold will do an okay enough job to get them through the year. I'm sure you will see Nick Mullins eventually. But
I'll be honest, I just looked at their schedule. And the
strength
of their teams that they're playing outside of their division, they may not even win 5 games. They open up against the 49ers. They're losing.
They don't open up against the Niners.
No? Why does it
Niners
say...
open up against...
Wait. Oh, I missed the September 8th game. The Giants. I can see a win against the Giants.
They better win against the Giants.
So I missed that one. But I still only see about like 5 wins. I see them losing to the Niners, Texans,
okay,
the Packers, the Jets,
okay,
the Lions, the Rams, maybe the Colts. Got to see how the Colts are playing with Anthony Richardson back. I don't know how they're going to be.
If he's playing in that game.
If he is, exactly. It's November 3rd.
His health is up.
The Jaguars, I see a loss there too. The Titans, I could see them maybe sneaking out a win. I don't know. The Bears, probably a loss. The Cardinals, might be a loss there too. Falcons, probably a loss. The Bears again, they might get swept by the Bears. They might trade 1-1. Seahawks, maybe they can get a win. I don't know who's home with this game. Oh, Seattle's home? Yeah, no, the Vikings are losing. And who else did I miss there? Packers again. I see them getting swept by the Packers and the Lions. I see the Lions and Packers sweeping them. And maybe they trade a game with the Bears. So honestly, I don't even know if they're going to get 5 wins this year.
Why they to call projection.
Exactly. Anything can happen.
Anything's possible.
They cannot catch the Niners sleeping in week 2 and take a win.
They could.
Never know, but from how hard their schedule is, they're in for a long season.
So who do you have finishing third in this division?
Third, I got the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
They're still a young team. They're still putting pieces together. Caleb Williams looks like a great quarterback.
He does.
College football isn't the same as the NFL. We've seen time after time after time where these first round quarterbacks fizzle out. I don't think it's going to be the case with him. But I am worried on if he is ready to be a day one starter and just raking up wins. I am concerned about that. Which that could also put me in the boat of, possibly, maybe they might have a similar record to the Vikings. Because I'll be honest, even if what's the McCarthy? That's who the Vikings drafted. What's his name? Yeah. Even if he was playing and starting, did we really see that first year like they were going to get like 9 or 10 wins? With the first year quarterback, I really don't see a team winning more than like maybe 7 games.
Could be. I'll tell you this real quick. I have the Bears at 8 wins.
8 wins?
I have them at 8 and 9. Their defense played really well down the stretch last year. It's got talent. They've got Edwards and Edmonds at linebacker. They have Montez Sweat coming off the edge. Their secondary, they still have Jaquan Brisker. They have Jalen Johnson. They still have a very good defense, in my opinion. They brought in Kevin Byard. Good luck with that. Offensively, Caleb has nothing short of weapons. He's got Khalil Herbert. He has DeAndre Swift. He has Keenan. Oh, my God. Keenan Allen's already questionable with a foot injury. You've got to be kidding me.
I'm surprised it's not a hamstring.
No, that's about week 7.
That's progress right there.
Yeah, right.
Lower. Though.
They have Cole Kmet. They have Roma Dunze. They have DJ Moore. They have the weapons. I think Caleb Williams is going to be a big-time player in this league. I think he starts off the year. I think he doesn't take the league by storm, but I think he surprises people and shows what he's capable of. I have him going 8 and 9. That's where I have them going.
I would say my prediction's more around 7 wins. And that's on, I think, the high end. They also have not the easiest record, or not the easiest schedule. They got some tough games on there. I could see the Commanders giving the Bears a run for their money. Patriots, maybe, possibly. I'm not sure how the Patriots is going to work out. I mean, their division alone, it's going to be tough for them to find wins in their division. The Lions and Packers just seem like the juggernauts in that division again.
They do. Speaking of them,
they played Seattle late. They played the Jags, the Rams, the Niners. I mean, I'm not seeing. They even played the Texans as well. I'm not seeing a whole lot of easy wins there for them. So it's going to be tough, but Caleb Williams is a great quarterback. I always like to say that I feel like if they did keep Justin Fields and surrounded him with all these weapons, I feel like Justin Fields could have succeeded in this system too.
Yeah.
Just imagine if they didn't draft Caleb Williams, they could have drafted Harrison Jr.
They were never going to take a wide receiver number 1.
No, because the organization felt the pressure and they scapegoated Justin Fields.
And that still holds true to this day. All right, who do you have finishing second in this division?
Second, I have...
This is tough.
I have the Packers. I'm not going to overthink it too much. I like everything that Green Bay's been doing. Jordan Love's great. He's going to improve and have an even better year this year than he did last year. But I still think the Lions are the more fully complete team in that division. I still feel like Green Bay is missing some pieces on defense. I feel like the Lions' defense is a lot stronger than theirs.
Agreed. Here's how I look at it, right? Jordan Love had a very good end to his season last year. And again, 2 throws away from getting to the NFC title game. Mm-hmm. But let's not forget about that first half where he was not looking so great.
Yep.
So I want to see Jordan Love put together a full season to make me feel like, okay, this is the guy who I think he's going to be. Maybe I need that for fantasy purposes. I don't know.
Me too.
Yeah, right. I like Josh Jacobs. I still don't agree with the fact that they got rid of Aaron Jones. I don't think that was a good idea at all. I still think Aaron Jones was still too valuable to that team. Their weapons, they've got plenty of them. Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, a healthy Christian Watson, Luke Musgrave at tight end, Josh Jacobs, still a great running back to have.
Yep.
They also drafted
Marshawn Dillon's on IR, so when they get Dillon back, that's a great running back too.
Yeah, and don't forget they drafted Marshawn Lloyd out of USC in the 3rd round this year, so they're putting together some weapons. Offensive line, oh God, they have Andre Dillard. Oh sweet God, we're sorry.
Oh man.
Their offensive line is still solid. Their defense still has some players. Like they still have Kenny Clark. They still have Rashawn Gary. They still have Preston Smith. Luke Van Ness is entering, I believe it's his 2nd year. Yes, and he had 4 sacks as a rotational player, so hopefully he's a year better. They have Devontae Wyatt. Now, linebacker, they're the ones that drafted Edgerrin Cooper, those motherfuckers. I want Edgerrin Cooper so bad. They have him, Quay Walker. They that's solid right there. Secondary, Jair Alexander, easily still one of the most underrated freaking corners in the league. I don't think he gets enough praise for how good he really is. They drafted Javon Bullard, the kid from Georgia. They signed Xavier McKinney away from the Giants. They have Eric Stokes, who is really good. That Packers second defense has actually got some interesting pieces to it.
They do. They got interesting pieces.
But ultimately, I am in agreement with you, and I'm going to say I have the Packers finishing. I have them finishing 10-7.
I have the Packers finishing at I have the Packers finishing at 9-7.
That's impossible.
Why? Oh, 9 wait.
That'd be 9-8.
Yes, 9-8. Still getting used to the extended season.
First time?
Multiple times.
All right. And then I guess that leaves us with the division winner, which will be the Detroit Lions.
Yeah. I see the Lions winning this division, and I don't think it's going to be close. Closest team will be the Packers, but they're going to be games off of them. I got the Lions finishing with 12 wins.
So do I. I have them finishing 2 games ahead of Green Bay to win the division. I'll tell you something real quick, man. If the Lions practice squad was from like 4 years ago, they had the best receivers in the league. They got Tim Patrick, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and Allen Robinson on their practice squad.
My God.
But I mean, look, if you're just looking at the Lions, Jared Goff has done nothing in Detroit but get better every year.
Yep.
I mean, he's possibly an MVP candidate this year.
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, best running back duo and one of the best in the league. In terms of weapons on the actual roster, Laporta, can't wait to see what he does in year 2.
Mm-hmm.
Jameson Williams, can't wait to see him fully healthy. Amon-Ra St. Brown, stud. I don't think we have to say anything else there, but
one of the best offensive lines in football.
I may have to put them ahead of the Eagles.
I'm considering it, but I don't want to do it. But
You may
the
have
only
to.
thing if we still had Kelsey, I
Yes,
think that would be the deal
exactly.
breaker. But
But
now
I mean,
with Juergens in there, Juergens has to prove himself still. This offensive line is just nothing but proven winners up there.
I
Like,
mean,
how did they put this together?
not only listen to this real quick. I mean, you've got Glass now. You've got Decker. You've got Ragnow. You've got Sewell. Oh yeah, they signed Kevin Zeitler, by the way, too.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, Aiden Hutchinson is just the anchor of that defensive line. Aleem McNeil is another one that they brought in. I love this move so much. They brought in DJ Reader. That is going to help them against teams like the Niners so much.
Mm-hmm.
They still need to find another pass rusher next to Hutchinson, but I think they're going to still be a very solid unit.
Yeah, they'll still be very, very competitive.
And that secondary, I mean, they added Carlton Davis from Tampa. They drafted Terrion Arnold. Still a little upset about that. Mm-hmm. They got Brian Branch. They have Kirby Joseph. They've got a lot of players back there still. Now, it'll be interesting to see how they replace C.J. Gardner-Johnson, but they've got corners for days. So, yeah, I have the Lions finishing at 12-5. They win the division by 2 games over the Green Bay Packers, in my prediction.
Okay.
Now, let's move on to the cream of the crop. The NFC East.
Best of the best, unless if you're a New York Giants fan.
Yeah, we apologize in advance. But, Tyler, who we got finishing last in the NFC East?
Oh, finishing last this year is going to be a different one. This year, I see the New York Giants finishing in last. I will say, I think they're going to get 6 wins this year. They're classic 6-11.
Good God.
They haven't done really anything. They're stuck with Daniel Jones. They're just riding the wave. They lost Saquon Barkley, the centerpiece of their offense. I mean, what else needs to be said? Where did they get better at? Maybe defense? I mean, they drafted Malik Neighbors. It just sucks that, they don't actually have a star quarterback to get him the ball.
I still think Neighbors is going to be a freaking stud.
They brought in what Giants fans think is like the second coming of Tiki Barber and Devin Singletary. I don't know why they're so delusional. I don't know why they're so delusional.
I think Tiki Barber actually thinks that too.
This is the guy. Yeah, Saquon wasn't it? Yeah, sure. Okay. All right. But
they have their quarterback room looks like an episode of The Sopranos.
Oh my gosh.
You got Tommy DeVito, Drew Lock, Daniel Jones. That's a lot of quarterbacks. That looks like a Tony Soprano.
I mean, offensive line. I don't know what we're really looking at here. I mean, did Evan Neal lose his job? Yeah. He lost his job to whoever, Jermaine Illuminor.
Yeah.
Like
they brought Illuminor over from the Raiders. They signed John Runyon Jr. They also
saw Andrew that. Andrew Thomas has been solid. He's improved.
He's been getting better.
Yeah, he's been getting better. Now, there still were guys in that draft that they could have taken ahead of him that were more fully polished already, but Andrew Thomas is working out for him. Yeah, but who is everyone else? John Runyon Jr., yeah. All right.
Don't you disrespect my boy.
He's solid. He's good. But what is a John Michael Schmitz Jr.?
What about Greg Van Rotten?
Van Rotten. That offensive line's going to be rotten. So let's just talk about the only positive thing the Giants probably have going for them, and that's their defense.
That, honestly, I will say, Dexter Lawrence and Raheem Nunez-Roches are still anchoring that D-line.
Yeah. Brian Burns, new addition.
Thibodeau, they're going to be wrecking.
Thibodeau is he's one that I worry about whenever we play.
Don't forget Bobby Okikere.
Bobby Okikere too. Aziz.
He's a stud. Deonte Banks is still a young corner who I still like. They did just bring back Adoree Jackson.
Yeah, dude, how old is Adoree Jackson?
They did draft Tyler Newman, and that just makes me sick.
Yeah. That's all right. If the Giants just keep up their standard path of, safeties, he'll be off the team in a few years. So
they also don't forget this. They did draft Theo Johnson, the tight end out of Penn State. They did add some weapons for Daniel Jones. I ain't saying that's much, but they've done some work this offseason. They've tried. Now, losing Saquon Barkley is still pivotal. And like Anthony just said here in the comment, they downgraded their running back. I don't think that's really a...
Yeah, that is obvious.
That's not a discussion to be had.
I'd probably be more optimistic on giving them a few more wins if they did still have Saquon, but with getting rid of him and adding in Devin Singletary, you're relying heavily on Daniel Jones to succeed in this offense. That's why I only have him at 6 wins. Even Giants fans don't believe in Daniel Jones still. No. You have him at 4 wins. Whew.
They stink.
Daniel
Jones.
They do.
Stink. Derek Carr can't get there quick enough.
Derek Carr can't get there. He's waiting, man. He's waiting. He's ready. Already looking at houses. $1 million apartments.
Yeah. Inflation.
Now they play in Jersey. He doesn't have to worry about $1 million apartment.
Yes, he does.
No, just $500,000 apartment.
Maybe 7. But all right, so who we got finishing 3rd in the NFC?
3rd, I got them boys, the Washington Commanders.
Oh man,
man, Anthony, I'm sorry, but yeah, come on, you should see this too, man. First-year quarterback, I there's only very few quarterbacks that I can ever just say that, okay, yeah, they're going to come in, they're going to finish this, and this. I didn't even give C.J. Stroud last year in the Texans. I don't think I had them finishing in 2nd. I think I had them finishing in 3rd in their division.
I don't think anyone had the Texans finishing the way they did.
Wrong. Like, I thought it was going to take them a year or two to, get up there in the playoffs, but they did it. But this year, I got the Commanders finishing with 7 wins. Maybe 8 on the high end.
Okay.
Not sure what their strength of schedule is looking like. Let's see.
I forget what I had to command when we did Dueling Aces last week. I'm pretty sure I had them. I forget where I had them finishing last year. Last week, I mean. But I think I have them finishing at 8 and 9. The Commanders.
They have quite a rough schedule, to say the least.
Do they?
They open up against Tampa. I can see Tampa beating them because they're in Tampa Bay. Then against the Giants, they're going to be on the road against the Giants. Or no, they're going to be home against the Giants. My mistake. I don't know. That's going to be a close game. I don't know who's going to win that. Because, the Commanders, they are in a good place. But I don't know if I can see, or just say that, yes, they are better than the Giants. I feel like they can trade their series. That's what I can see.
The Commanders are trending in the right direction. They get their quarterback in Jaden Daniels. I think he's going to be an absolute stud. I love the running back duo of Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson. Terry McLaurin, they need some wide receiver help outside of that. They did sign Noah Brown, who was released by the Texans.
Yep.
They still have, and they have got they have Byron Pringle, they have Luke McCaffrey, they have Zach Ertz. I still hate the fact that they have Zach Ertz.
It's painful.
Offensive line will have a little help. They did sign Tyler Biotis in free agency. Defense is still anchored by Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne on that defensive line. They also took the kid Newton, the defensive tackle from Illinois. Now he did have a foot injury that he was rehabbing from. I'm not sure where he is in terms of his recovery from that, but that could be a really interesting trio on the defensive line. Linebackers, they have Bobby freaking Wagner. They've signed Frank Lavulu from the Panthers. Their secondary, I still really like Emmanuel Forbes, the kid they drafted last year.
Yeah.
They got a lot of work to do still, but they're going in the right direction.
They are. They can definitely continue to strengthen their secondary. Bringing in Jeremy Chitton is great. Free safety, Quan Martin. Who's Quan Martin?
Anthony says, what did Washington need for years? A middle linebacker?
Yeah. And they got a really good guy, but the only issue is he doesn't have 10 more years. Not even 5 more years.
He's got maybe 2 to 3 more years. Maybe.
3. So, I mean, I'm going to say the Commanders, yeah. I'm sticking with 7 wins out of them.
I got him. I have them going 8 and 9. All right, now let's move on to the two-headed monster at the top of this division. I'm going to start this one. I got starting in second place, the Dallas Cowboys. I am going to say that I have the Cowboys with 10 wins. I'm changing my prediction from Dueling Aces.
What was your prediction on Dueling Aces?
11 and 6. I'm changing it. And Anthony says, all they need is Wagner. We just need Wagner for 2 years. Well, they probably get 2 years out of him.
Yeah.
But Dallas 10 and 7, they've lost so much. Dak is still complaining about his money. If this was 2018, best backfield in the NFL, Zeke and Dalvin Cook.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. CeeDee Lamb has been paid, but unfortunately it's CeeDee Lamb, and that's about it.
Yeah. Brandon Cooks, no. Jalen Tolbert, no.
Not sure what Brandon Cooks has left.
Now, tight end wise,
I love Ferguson.
Jake Ferguson's good, and Shoemaker's not a bad second tight end either.
Nope. Entering his second full year, I think he'll be a really solid option for them.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive line is still going to find a way to be good.
They most likely will. I mean, this offensive line is one of the most different offensive lines we've seen.
Looks like Zach Martin. I don't know any of these guys.
Yeah. Like Tyler Guyton,
They drafted him.
It was a draft. Yeah, he was drafted this year. Yeah, out of Oklahoma. Yeah. So yeah, you got a rookie left tackle.
They have Cooper Beebe, who they also drafted, and Tyler Smith also, still a young offensive lineman. This is going to be and Terrence Steele. This is going to be a very interesting Dallas offensive line this year. Now, defensively,
oh my gosh, they brought in Eric Kendricks. Good luck.
And they brought in Linval Joseph. Man, they love ex-Vikings.
Oh, man. Dude, no, they just love players who peaked like 5 years ago.
I will say this, though. DeMarcus Lawrence had a really good year last year. He had no, not last year. The year before, my bad. Last year was terrible.
He was back to terrible again.
It was 2 years ago I was thinking of, but Lawrence is still there. They did draft Marshawn Nealon, which I freaking hate because I love him coming out of this year's draft out of freaking Western Michigan. So that'll help them get some youth in their pass rush. Mozzie Smith is entering his second year, the defensive tackle they took the year before. Yeah. And Cowboy fans tried to say he was better than Jalen Carter. Whatever. But linebackers, Eric Kendricks, good luck. Yeah. Micah Parsons, you're on your own, buddy.
Yep, he's on his own up there.
The secondary, Trayvon Diggs coming back healthy is going to help them a lot. They still have Jordan Lewis going to play a lot because Deron Bland is out 6 to 8 weeks with a foot injury. I'm still heartbroken over that because I really want to see that duo together fully now. Would have been scary to watch.
Yeah.
But I do have the Cowboys finishing 10-7. This is not one of their better rosters they've put together this year.
It is not. And I mean, offensive wise, I'm really shocked that outside of CeeDee Lamb, they really haven't done much at all. And then to bring back Zeke, not as a backup, as your starting running back, and then bringing in Dalvin Cook, I don't see this. This Cowboys team just doesn't scare me.
Anthony, I mean, it's not that I think Brandon Cooks is a good number 2. He's the only option as the number 2.
He's not a solid number 2. That's the problem.
If he was on the Eagles, he'd be great.
Oh my God. He'd be great because he'd never play.
He's still seeing Malcolm Jenkins knocking him out in the Super Bowl.
Oh my gosh. Flashbacks. Yeah, talk about seeing ghosts. You can go out on the field and just relive that.
And now, Tyler, let's wrap up our NFC preview with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, yeah. 2024 Philadelphia Eagles. Let's fly. This roster. Now, I don't want to sound like a Cowboys fan, right? This roster is built to take you deep in the playoffs.
Wait, is this... Wait, look at this real quick. What unfinished business is this?
I saw when he said that, Anthony. And it was like, what is the unfinished business? You never won anything. And then, I think, was it Zeke calling for a Super Bowl or somebody was calling for a Super Bowl? I don't even know who it was. Or maybe it was the fans. And I'm just like, where do you think he's getting you to a Super Bowl when y'all couldn't even get to the freaking conference finals with him during his prime?
They'll be lucky if they get to the wild card this year.
So, yeah. This year is the Philadelphia Eagles' year to light the league on fire offensively. Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, Kenneth Gainwell, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Jahan Dotson now, Dallas Goedert, Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Mekhi Becton winning the starting job at right guard, which is insane, and Lane Johnson, all reliable. The offense, there's no question marks.
Anthony, what chance was that?
Yeah, there was no chance with the coaching of Brian Johnson. The offense was lost.
It was
the defense was even more lost. That was not a good situation last year at all.
No. Now, I will say this. First of all, I do want to say congratulations to Jordan Mailata, who is now the first-time captain on the team.
Yes. First-time captain, well-deserved.
Becton winning that right guard spot still just shocked me.
Yeah, oh man, Mekhi Becton. I remember I was so big on him back when he was coming out of the draft, and then the Jets went and got him because the Jets just needed to protect whoever they had back there.
Zach Wilson, Geno Smith.
And to think Becton's only 25.
I know.
Dude's 6'7". Like, oh my
Rick may not be able to see over his own line.
Honestly, that may be the issue that's run into. He may not be able to stand in the pocket and look over guys. He might have to actually scramble out a couple of feet before he throws the ball.
Okay, Anthony, yes, but are you going to say they should have kept the guys they had last year?
No. And here's the thing, too, right? It's not like they're forcefully switching coaches. They lost their coaches because they made it to the Super Bowl, and both of them got head coaching jobs. So it's
still
something
have
out of their
control. Gannon here.
This is the cycle of the NFL. You're going to lose your offensive coordinators. It's being able to find the right ones to come in and replace them that makes the difference. Still got the same head coach. But it's about getting the right coordinators in there.
Yeah.
But the only I would say question mark of how far this team will go is gonna be defensively.
Agreed.
And we got Milton Williams coming in as a first time starter this year. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. They're finally getting that start next to each other. It's time for the young boys in there. Brought in
Release the
Bryce
dog.
Huff. You got Brandon Graham, captain again in his final year, coming in behind. And interior linebackers, we got, is that the official roster? Zach Bond and Devin White, they're going to be the two starters week
Vaughn,
one.
Vaughn White will be the quote unquote starters. Dean is going to
And
be pushing for playing
Dean will
time.
rotate in. Trotter will probably be special teams.
I guarantee he'll get into some playing time as well.
Yeah. And then we
And then you
got,
got the guys behind them like Vance Sumarant, Orenberg.
yeah, those are more your special teams guys.
Yeah.
We got Josh Sweat. Hopefully, whatever happened last year, I just hope he can get back to playing some good organized football instead of doing his own thing. But,
Yeah.
with how that defense was last year, it was a nightmare. Can't even fully blame him for that. Hopefully, we do see some production out of Nolan Smith. We're really high on him, but some initial things coming out before the season starting up here don't sound the greatest,
They
but
don't.
we'll
It
let
sounds
the play on the field determine it.
Jalen Hunt looks like he is over Nolan Smith right now in terms of
But that's the thing, right? Jalen
playing
Hunt.
time.
The one thing that I realized out of Jalen Hunt is how hungry he is to be
Yep.
better than everybody else. Nolan Smith coming in didn't play a whole lot, but he was drafted. What was he, second round, or was he late first? Late first, right?
Late first.
Yeah, late first round. So you kind of come in with that chip on your shoulder, like, yeah, I'm the guy. This is my spot. You better watch out for the guy that's behind you, because if you don't keep outplaying him, you're gonna fall right behind.
Agreed.
And then we got Keely. No, why did they trying to use ESPN's depth chart is just not it. That the second I knew that they messed up was they had Keely Ringo starting next to Darius Slay and not Isaiah Rodgers. Which Keely Ringo could be a starter, but
what from Fangio says, I don't know if that's true either.
Really?
He said, I've got to find a way to keep Quinyon on the field.
Oh. Because, right now they have Quinyon listed as the starting nickel corner. So the slot corner, and Cooper DeJean as the second behind him.
Yeah, Mitchell will start there. Now, Fangio did come out today and said that DeJean is probably not where he needs to be because, he did miss the 3 weeks with the hamstring injury. Yeah. So, Vic's being very honest with that.
Hey, which is good. You don't want to rush guys in there because, they got a lot of talent. The only thing is can this group of guys get to the quarterback? I believe they can. Is it going to be the 70 sack season we saw?
No.
Is it going to be better than last year? I think so. It should be. Second year of Jalen Carter, I can easily see double-digit sacks. I see a few coming from Jordan Davis. Milton Williams I could see getting close to double-digit. Hopefully Bryce Huff as well.
I'm paying Bryce Huff a lot of money. He better get a lot of sacks.
Yeah. So, they got a lot of pieces. It's just a lot. It's just a big question mark of how it all is going to come together.
It's a young defense that has a lot of moving parts. Bryce Huff and Josh Sweat have got to be the best two edge rushers on the team.
Honestly, young defenses have been some of the defenses who have won the most Super Bowls. Yeah. The young guys in there. You got your veterans to keep them level-headed, but that's the way the league is nowadays. You don't just have all these veterans on the defense and they're winning the Super Bowl for you.
I also think that this defense has brought it. I mean, they're going to miss Son Reddick, of course, but I think they're getting their edge back. We get C.J. Gardner-Johnson back in this fold. C.J. should never have left in the first place. So
yeah. Thank you to his agent.
Yeah, and thank you for putting out that stuff on TV on Twitter, Nimrod. But no, I personally do think that the Eagles got their edge back when they brought back DJ. So I think their the secondary,
a kind of swagger to the defense.
He does. This defense is just like it's so the secondary. I mean, the secondary depth is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking at this, you're looking at Blankenship.
For Sam,
what's up?
Isaiah Rodgers is listed as our starting kick returner.
Interesting.
I guess he's a good kick returner. And they got Kenny Gainwell as the second guy behind him.
Yeah.
And then starting punt returners, Great Britain over there. Great Britain Covey.
Great Britain. You're an idiot. But, I mean, if you look at the secondary, you got Blankenship, DeJean, DJ, Maddox, who's now basically a full-time safety, Mitchell, Eli Ricks, and Keely Ringo, who were the starting corners for the final month of last season, Rodgers, Slay. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, lots of depth in the secondary. I think this is the best I know this is the best secondary they've put together ever on this team.
Since probably the Troy Vincent, Bobby Taylor days.
Exactly. And most complete. Like, not even just good corners. Like, most complete from top to bottom. I think the only weak point is who's going to step up and really secure that starting free safety. Reed's going to be the day one starter. But is he going to keep the job? Is he going to lose it out to somebody ultimately, like if Sidney Brown when he comes back?
Which, by the way, I do have an update on Sidney. It looks like about a week 6 return is realistic. He has to spend 4 weeks on the PUP list, and then he'll probably need about 2 weeks to get into game shape. So, looking at about a week 6 return for Sidney Brown.
Okay.
And then, of course, Bradbury's out the 8 weeks, which, whatever.
Yeah. But prediction time.
Yes, sir.
What do you got?
I have the Eagles finishing at 12-5.
Okay. I actually have them 13-4.
Yeah.
I'm swinging for the fences because I think that's what that offense is going to be doing. Even if there are any question marks of this defense, and if it takes them a little while to mesh together, I still think that this offense is going to put up close to 30 points every game.
That's what I'm thinking. I think they're getting away from we need a top 5 defense. No, you need to score points.
Top 10 defense, maybe even get away with top 15 in certain categories.
Agreed.
And, just offense putting up almost 30 points a game. Like, you need one of the top scoring offenses in the league.
Agreed. But yes, I have the Eagles going 12-5, winning the division. No, Smitty was never a captain.
Yeah, he was never a captain. I actually have a list of I did have a list of who the captains were. There it is. Mm-hmm. So the captains for the 2024 season is AJ Brown, second season as captain, Jake Elliott, third season as captain, Brandon Graham, sixth season as a captain, Jalen Hurts, fourth season as a captain, Lane Johnson, third season as a captain, Jordan Mailata, first season as a captain, and Darius Slay in his, third season as a captain.
Oh, wait, no, wait. Devontae Smith was a captain last year.
Last year he was. Oh. So did they snub him in favor of Mailata then? Because
no, because Jordan would have just took over Kelsey's.
True. Wait, was Jake Elliott a captain last year?
I didn't think he was.
Because, I thought it was kind of odd. But, I mean, I guess you give the captain badge out to guys who are, leaders in your locker room. So.
No, Anthony, I corrected myself. He was a captain last year. I totally forgot. Jake was a captain too. Who?
But Jake was a captain too?
This is reading what it says.
Wait,
he was.
Hold on. Because from the list that I just read off to you, all of these guys were captains last year.
Mailata was not a captain last year.
Except for Mailata. That's the only exception. But then, like you said, he would just be taking Kelsey's spot. So who?
This is interesting now.
I'm so confused.
I am so confused right now. Somebody, well, we know Smith. Wait a minute. Was AJ a captain last year? No, yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
I don't freaking know.
Hold on, we're pulling up a list.
Yeah, all these guys were captains last year except for Mailata.
Let's see.
Okay,
I know why. They had 9 captains last year. They cut it down.
Yes, they cut down to 7 captains. That's why.
Sirianni acknowledged they had a couple too many. So he wanted to cut it down a little bit.
Okay, so that answers that question. And no, I don't think that's going to cause a rift in the locker room either, in case people want to start asking stupid questions.
Not at all. Because guess what? You know what? One thing that Mailata said. Mailata said it's a great honor. He says he doesn't really care. He said he already viewed himself as a leader in the locker room, and he's just going to keep doing the same things he always was doing. He just said it's just an honor. It's an honor to have it and to wear it. So all these guys, they're not going to care.
No.
Smitty's still kicking it with everybody on the team. He's still going to be a leader.
All right. And that is your 2024 NFC prediction. Before we wrap up the show tonight, shall we do a quick recap of college football week 1?
Yeah, what we got?
All right, well, I'm not gonna read through the whole damn schedule. I don't care what SMU and Chattanooga did.
Please don't tell me what Chattanooga and SMC did.
Well, SMU beat Nevada, so. All right. To recap the AP Top 25 teams, Florida State upset by 3 to Georgia Tech. What a shock. Number 24, NC State defeated Western Carolina 38-21. Number 22, Kansas defeated Lindenwood 48-3. Number 11, Missouri defeated Murray State 51-0. Utah defeated Southern Utah 49-0. Number 16, Oklahoma absolutely dominated Temple 51-3. Number 8, Penn State defeated West Virginia 34-12. Number 1 ranked Georgia defeated Clemson 34-3. That game was tied at, I believe it was 6-0 going into the half, and it ended 34-3. Number 25 Iowa defeated Illinois State 40-0. Number 15 Tyler, here's the joke part. Number 15 Tennessee beat Chattanooga 69-3. Number 17, Oklahoma State defeated South Dakota State 44-20. Number 19, Miami defeated Florida 41-17. Scrolling through, number 2, Ohio State defeated Akron 52-6. Number 4, Texas defeated Colorado State 52-0. Oh, my God.
That was slaughter.
Number 6, Ole Miss defeated Furman 76-0. Jesus God. Number 5, Alabama defeated Western Kentucky 63-0. Number 18, Kansas State defeated Tennessee Martin 41-6. I think that school's made up. But number 3, Oregon survives Idaho 24-14.
Wow.
Number 9, Michigan started their the post-Jim Harbaugh era off with a 30-10 win over Fresno State. Number 7, Notre Dame outlasted Texas A&M 23-13. That was a very good game to watch. And wrapping up the final few ranked games, Arizona, number 21 Arizona defeated New Mexico 61-39. And the classic last night, number 23 USC outlast number 13 LSU 27-20. Now, I did get to watch 3 of those games. I watched USC and LSU. Tough break for LSU. I honestly think that Garrett Nussmeier, who, by the way, is the son of Eagles now quarterback coach Doug Nussmeier. Oh, absolutely, Anthony, a win is a win, but guess what? Not when you're in the AP Top 25. They're dropping them like 3 spots because of that.
Oof.
I wouldn't, but they will. But yeah, Nussmeier had a really good game. 29-38, 304 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he threw a bad interception at the end of the game.
Mm-mm.
At USC, I'll say one thing. Miller Moss played really well. 27-36, 378, 1 touchdown. Played a solid game. Really good game. Notre Dame and A&M, that Notre Dame defense is ridiculous. They've got always 3 NFL. Yes, but like A&M could not do anything against them. They could not.
Is one of their star players a linebacker?
Actually, no. 3 of their star players are in their secondary.
Really?
They have 3 NFL starters in their secondary. But no, they couldn't run the football. A&M had no answers for them. And, of course, the other game was Penn State dominating West Virginia. Drew Aller looks a lot better than he did last year. Now, the weather out in West Virginia, they were delayed by thunderstorms after they hit halftime. So they kind of went to the ground game in the second half. But Drew Aller in the first half was lighting up West Virginia's secondary. Aller finished his line 11-17, 216 yards, 3 passing touchdowns.
Wow.
Nick Singleton ran 13 times for 114 yards and 1 touchdown. I think he's the best running back that Penn State's had since Saquon Barkley.
Even better than Miles Sanders?
He may be. Trey Wallace, their wide receiver, had 5 catches for a career-high 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. But the biggest thing with Penn State, first of all, the defense was lights out the whole day. They finally are they have taken the training wheels off of Drew Aller. The big plays downfield, they're there. The players in motion, they're there. The big 20-plus yard plays that were not there for Penn State last year with Aller are there. And if those plays continue to develop with this new offensive coordinator they brought in this year, they will speak in the playoffs this year. Especially now with the seeding up to 8 seeds, they will be in the playoffs. I think Drew Aller is a really good quarterback. I think he's the best quarterback they've had over the past 10 years.
Wow. Even the 8 years that you had Clifford?
Shut up. Sean Clifford's the third quarterback.
There wasn't that many quarterbacks in the last 10 years because Clifford played how many years?
Well, it was Clifford. Before that, it was McSwirly. And then before that, it was Christian Hackenjack. Hackenberg should have been good. He had the cannon of an arm. He just couldn't get his pocket awareness down, couldn't get his accuracy down, just threw the ball up and prayed half the time. It's a shame because that Penn State team had a really good defense. And they had Chris Godwin, Deshaun Hamilton, Saquon Barkley, Miles Sanders. They had a lot of talent. Just Christian Hackenberg sucked. But McSwirly's Penn State teams were good. Clifford's were solid, but I think Drew Aller is a really good quarterback. He's mobile enough to where he can escape the pocket when he needs to. Got a good arm. And like I said, if they continue to let the big plays develop, Penn State could be really good this year. Because that's what plagued them last year. The big plays weren't there. It was all dink and dunk. It was all vanilla. They get those big plays and they keep them, especially with Nick Singleton running the ball. You're going to see next Saturday. Because I'll tell you now, 609 is taking over Happy Valley.
Yep.
Maybe a little rainy, but we're taking over Happy Valley.
Might be in the middle of nowhere. But we're going to be there.
Oh, yeah, well. But there's your Week 1 college football recap. And the last little thing I have to say is this guy behind me, unsung hero of the 2024 Philadelphia Phillies. Phils took 3 crucial games from the Braves this weekend, up in their NL East lead to 7 with a month to play. We're getting closer and closer to Red October. But anywho,
Red October.
Anywho, 2 hours and 40 minutes this episode has been.
2 hours and 30 minutes.
What?
2 hours and 30 minutes.
Oh, 2:30. I'm sorry. That damn clock's too small for me at my eyes to see. I thought it was too.
Put them glasses on.
Oh, my glasses on. That ain't helping me. Tyler, any parting words for the fans?
All I got to say is sorry, Giants fans. Good luck, Commanders. F them Cowboys. And go Birds.
Yep. Everybody, we are a few sleeps away. 3 more days till the NFL season kicks off. And we are going to be right there with you guys every week to talk about it. Next week, we'll be recapping week 1. We'll be doing our Monday night preview. We'll be returning our power rankings, which I think we probably should have done this week, but we didn't. But
we can.
Well, wait, we got to have something for next week. But guys, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight on tonight's episode. I want to thank Anthony for all his comments. I want to thank Dennis and Adam and all the guys joining us here tonight. I'm sure Dueling Aces has already started their show. So if y'all want to go watch another, they're doing their fantasy football draft live on their show tonight. So go check out our boys at the Dueling Aces, Georgie, Zolt, Adam, and all them boys. We want to thank everybody once again for joining us tonight. Have a safe rest of your Labor Day. We hope everybody had a safe holiday weekend. But enjoy the rest of your week. Thursday night, everybody. NFL's back, and we will see you guys here next Monday for a full Week 1 recap. For Tyler Adams, I'm Sam Nelson. Good night, everybody.